All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back here with the Overwatch Open, map number 3 of our North American Grand Finals, soon to be underway. And right now, it has been CLOUD9 with a dominating performance there, up 2 maps to 0. And Luminosity Gaming, if they want to do the reverse sweep, Joshy, they're bringing it to Hollywood.
They are bringing it to Hollywood first to try to extend the series. You made a great point, though, that they're going to have to win all 3 maps anyway. So we were talking about, I would definitely not pick Hollywood. King of the Hill would be my option, but you're right. They definitely have to win all 3 anyway. So you might as well try your best. Hollywood, they had a great performance against Liquid.
Yeah.
Could be their saving grace still. We don't know. But it is a best-of-5 series with Cloud9 up 2-0 already. They have to be feeling good about their chances of joining Envious there in the playoffs directly.
Yeah, no, Cloud9 definitely, they have to be just feeling good about it. Although I will say this for LG, against Liquid, it's sort of, they did hold on, but they did have a period where they're very close to losing that map. So you have to think that
Also
Liquid,
true.
where they've been playing a little bit lower than C9, I just wonder if, I don't know. It feels like C9 should have the advantage going to Hollywood based on what we've seen from these teams thus far, both early in the series and LG's performance earlier in the day. I feel like LG, they're going to have to dig deep and find another level that may or may not be there if they want to bring the series back, and hopefully hope for some C9 members to cool down a little bit as well.
Yeah, Cloud9 is actually on fire. If they had an on-fire meter as a team, they're on fire this whole time, and Luminosity just keeps having to respawn. It's pretty rough so far. Hollywood, could be a totally different story. It is kind of an any given Sunday situation with these teams when you have so many instant kill ults available, you have so many different flanking opportunities, different characters you can switch to in a pinch. Anything can happen, and that's actually a great reason that Overwatch is so fun to watch, just the variety. Even though, of course, we do see, Lucio and Zen all the time now, and certain characters we've talked about throughout the broadcast as just being essential. There's still that opportunity. A Bastion can appear at any time and destroy your whole team. Like, that stuff can happen, and Cloud9 is one of the teams that actually is not afraid to switch around a lot of characters. Seagull has a very wide array of characters that he can swap to, so I'm excited to see if anyone's going to try and shake off the norm.
I feel like for LG, they have to catch C9 off guard in some very major way here, strike blood early. So if they are on defense early, which I think they might be since C9 does favor attack a lot of the times, I think for LG, if they are able to somehow clutch out the first point defense, which, by the way, on Hollywood, super unlikely from what we've seen the teams doing here, but I feel like LG needs that sort of gut punch to get C9 a bit more off their game and really open the opportunity to not only take Hollywood, but carry some momentum going into King of the Hill, where, of course, if that does happen, the last 2 King of the Hill maps would be absolutely frantic.
Well, I'm sure that Luminosity was watching Cloud9's semifinal just to gain as much knowledge as they could, and Sureforce Tracer has been very prominent on Hollywood A, both on defense and offense. If they're ready for it, if they can shut down Sureforce, they have a fighting chance. Who knows if Sureforce is going to do the same thing twice, though? I certainly don't, and he might just be choosing that character based on the team that he's facing. So we'll have to see what comes up pretty soon. He's getting the flyover now of wonderful Hollywood, that Wild West set, and Goldshire Studios is where we're at. Just to remind everyone about the lore of this map, you're literally helping escort a VIP director to his parking spot. That is the entire map.
I mean, it's a nice parking spot. I would be proud to have that parking spot.
There's a trailer right next to it. Such a short distance, too.
He's like it is. He's a VIP. But taking a look here, will in fact be LG on the defense first. Gods is going to be on the Reaper. Enigma on the Zarya. Dummy going to be on Zenyatta. Pooks on the Lucio. Seagull, of course, on his Junkrat, and Milo and Reinhardt. And they're going to have to throw some curveballs here at C9. They can't play this normal. They certainly don't want to get rolled over at the very beginning. Otherwise, I think their odds of actually turning this to their favor not going to be good. But here comes C9, and Sureforce is on that Tracer, Joshy.
Sureforce, yeah, on the Tracer, as we said. We need to keep an eye out for it. I'm sure that LG saw that on the entry, of course, and already getting down to 22 health is a solid start. Sureforce not even using Rewind, just getting back to his team to get some heals instead. Got a little bit of a poke fight. Nothing too crazy happening, no leap in with the Winston or anything just yet, and Cloud9 does have those incredibly good tanks. As we mentioned, Kai and Debet are one of the best tanking combos. Sureforce just dancing circles around the defense right now, providing a great distraction.
Yeah, and that's the key. It's a distraction. It's going to let the rest of C9 leap right in. Debit, though, does leap in, is punished. Sureforce on the Gods. Both teams down one player. Sureforce, though, on the double kill. No one is looking at him anymore, and he's just feasting. Throws out the Pulse Bomb. Doesn't get a kill off it, but look, he's just sitting at Reinhardt. Reinhardt doesn't even care as he eats clip after clip. Sureforce right behind. Reaver now coming in at the clutch. Take out 2. Seagull trying to hold in here. Does get a double kill tire, but that might be too low, too late. The offensive reinforcements from C9 will be getting here early. Reaver does dispatch Seagull. A very first attack, or quick attack here from C9, and any hopes that LG might have had of a first point defense have gone up in smoke.
Yeah, 1 minute, 8 seconds. Pretty good time there for point A. Really only took an extended fight, not even really a wipe ever. Surefour did die to that Junkrat tire, but by then his teammates had respawned and were all over the point. So Luminosity having to get into the high ground position as quick as they can. You actually see the attackers getting up on the high ground very quickly on the right side, but that payload's just moving along. Defense doing what they can to stay in place. They'll probably jump down around this first rooftop area. Actually going to charge forward and try to punish the only few members of C9 that were up there, but Transcendence is going to keep all of them alive. Great timing there by Adam to keep everyone up. And right now we're just posturing again. Surefour did die to Gods from range, so that's a tough loss for Cloud9 for this push. Reaver also getting quite low.
The interesting thing for C9 is that they're not running a Genji or anything that has good, like aside from the Winston, anything that has great verticality here. So they're not really planning on playing a huge rooftop game in the sense that you would normally see. They still get 2 kills off that to begin with, and they're just pushing it through the ground right now.
Yeah, let the defense come to us. Makes sense.
It's working out. I mean, Gods has been up here on top the entire time trying to lay and poke. Debit will get on him towards the end. We'll push him back. He's going to get the big health, so he's not dead yet. Is laying in the damage. Debit might be able to take this, but nope. Debit going to pop the Primal Rage. He does force out, but here comes Reaver. The Deadeye strikes. 2 kills from Reaver, and C9 keeping momentum going. LG was a little bit scared there, and that's a problem. Gods was off on an island by himself on that high ground, and he had no one to help him when pressure came coming.
Yeah, Reaver actually just wrecking shop right now, running through the enemy team while the payload just gently pushes. I'm sure the VIP is feeling pretty good, just cruising along. He's not even going to have to yell at them.
The VIP has never had more of a pleasant trip. This is C9's been keeping it going super, super quickly here. He has nothing to complain about. LG, on the other hand, has a lot to complain about because this is just more of the same from what we saw in Gibraltar. They are getting thoroughly outclassed right now, and they need to find a way of stopping C9 because this has been absolutely brutal here so far. Looking ahead to the next fight, it might not get any better. Grego has Sound Barrier. Pook's nowhere close. C9 has a lot of tools here between Sound Barrier and Graviton that really turns in their favor. Luckily for them, Gods did win the duel against Reaver. Takes out Adam. Gods putting LG on their back for some very needed breathing time.
Graviton Surge at the ready for Kai. He did lose. Actually, no, just lost Adam. So Adam's going to respawn very close by. Not really too much of a loss. Payload, typically you'll see the defense set up around this corner because the respawn distance is so close and because it's a tighter choke. But now Speed Boost comes in. Graviton Surge still available for Kai. He's not going to hit that button until he's sure he's going to get some value out of it. Sound Barrier going to be the first to use to give everyone that extra health. And there's the Graviton Surge coming out. Diva ult inside actually blows away Kai, and he will get that suit refund, but lose it immediately as he's the last person standing for Luminosity's defense. Already, Milo coming out of the gate, but he's already damaged. C9 just moving forward with very little effort again.
It was a very typical engage there with Sound Barrier, but it was enough to bring it forward. Enigma at least got a few pounds of flesh before going out, but here comes Reaver, Deadeye on the way, zoning LG back once more. And look at all the space here on the cart. They have to just get on here quickly or get lose outright. They do rush on the cart with the Transcendence. Surefour, though, takes out Milo. 5v5 here on the point. Seagull looks to back. Here comes the Death Blossom on the way. Takes out Grego, looks for a little bit more. Gonna have to sell for just 1 kill, but does create enough of a distraction for Enigma to come in through the front. Dummy stabilizing this a bit. The cart is 2.37 meters away. LG, though, going to buy themselves some very necessary time.
Yeah, the Death Blossom, you could tell he wanted both of those healers, but Adam was not all about that. He sprinted. They did split up. Very nice play there by the attacking team, and Payload is starting to roll backwards for the very first time this game. Great hold there at the very end. You could tell they coordinated that very well with the Transcendence. They knew exactly how much time was left. Then Seagull jumped down for the Death Blossom. Everything worked to Luminosity's favor, but they don't have all these ults again now. They don't have anything. Cloud9's got the benefit.
Well, Pooks is about to get Sound Barrier, so I think there's a chance here. I think Sound Barrier will cancel out Death Blossom somewhat. If Pooks can get in time, right now he's holding on to it as he does have it. You're going to see that get dropped here any moment, and that's going to be LG's trump card to try and win this fight. It doesn't mean they'll win the fight. C9 actually backs out. They took out Dummy. Dummy first to fall once more. And now 65, the Sound Barrier is down. C9 with renewed pressure. Debit getting on the vital targets. 2 kills here for Debit. A 6v4 advantage. Seagull in the back line takes out Debit, trying to push this back, but C9 filling the kill feed. It's Seagull versus the world. Unfortunately for Seagull, this is not good odds. He is taken out here on the point. That is going to be a cap. And that's about a time of about 5:25.
Yeah,
being set here by C9. It's not quite the world-breaking Gibraltar time, but this is still not something where LG feels okay about. This is not
Yeah,
great.
this is not great. I'll totally agree. And defending, they didn't want to defend that VIP parking space enough. They had to really want it. They had to want that trailer, and they did not. Halfred Glitchbot delivered safely, and 5 minutes 24 seconds is the time to beat for Luminosity. And after those last two payload maps, I gotta say, Cloud9's defense has looked so stout that it could be difficult. And Surefour on the defensive tracer, just an early selection. We'll find out if he sticks with it, but I'm assuming he will just based on previous history. And he did such a great job flanking in the previous series, the semifinal, that Luminosity really need to be aware this time. They didn't deal with him aptly enough on the defense. If he's on, yes, Luminosity on defense did not deal with the offensive tracer. If they can't deal with the defensive tracer, they have no chance.
I think the idea here is this is a little bit of a different look for defensive tracer because there is no Winston on his team that he's sort of distracting for a big leap in. Neither Devitt nor Kai are going to be super, super crazy in their charge. And so I think what Surefour is going here for the defensive tracer is that it's pretty good at getting on Zenyatta's in general, but more than anything else, it'll break up the coordination of LG's offense just a little bit because if they're worried about Surefour in the back, they can't go full crazy, just all diving the cafe together because then Surefour might take out Dummy in the back.
He's so far forward already, too.
Oh, look at this.
Yeah, as they run out of the gate, of course, Surefour just crouch walking. If you didn't know, crouching does hide your footsteps audio, so they will not know exactly where Tracer is, or that he's even on Tracer, for that fact.
We have another notable thing here. I don't know if they're going with this, but LG, they have done crazy team comps in the past. It'd be weird for Enigma of all people to be in the Ana. Maybe it'll be the case. Gods on Hanzo, though, would not be unprecedented. We've seen that a lot of times here in Hollywood, but unfortunately, getting trolled a little bit. God's going to go to McCree, but Enigma... Is he still showing Ana? Is this happening?
So Ana's very interesting here. Not only does Enigma not normally play support, this is a 3-support composition, but Enigma, Ana is one of those sort of DPS supports, you could say. Always be shooting, definitely benefits her. Sleep darts, of course, are great CC. Here's Surefour doing his thing, immediately jumping onto Dummy, has to rewind, so looks like LG was ready for it.
Here's the thing, though. Look at how far back they are. It slows down their entire offense, so I like this coming out just to try and give the defense a little bit more tools to play with. Dummy right now has to be afraid of his life because he knows that Surefour is back here. Seagull goes in. He's going to get chewed up. And while they're doing this, they're not going in on the cafe. Now they're going in the cafe, but it is slowed down. They know the positioning of everyone. Surefour right now getting right into the back line will rewind. First kill goes to C9. And this is a good take on defense that right now is working. 3 kills for C9. This will be the rare first point Hollywood hold, which, by the way, not good for LG given the time they have to beat.
Oh, definitely not. Already under 5 minutes to go. And Surefour, even though he had a couple of spots of trouble, saved the rewind for the perfect moments. He's got a pulse bomb available this time around. Finding Seagull, preventing Seagull from actually doing any damage, definitely benefited them.
Note this, though. Ana ult does charge really quickly, and they will have it here for the next fight. So it's probably going to be going on Milo, Gods, or Seagull, one of the 3. Surefour right now with the pulse bomb, most looking for a pickoff. Doesn't get. The Ana ult is down, and is going to be a fully charged up Milo running in, swinging the hammer. It is terrifying, but not so terrifying that Discord Orb and a good Zarya laser can't deal with it. And C9 getting the kills they need to get. Seagull super wounded in the cafe, gets taken out by Reaver. Reaver on the double kill. Surefour just being relentless in the back, and God's just like, kill me now. It's like, wait, no, we got heals. You don't have to die.
Kill me, do it now.
Oh my goodness.
Not going to grant him his wish. Definitely just kind of lets him peter around, and he's actually still low health and hasn't.
Looking at historical Hollywood times right now, this is really it for LG. It's very rare they ever get a time under 3.5 minutes just from the start, which is effectively what this would still be if they went in here. Seagull comes into the back line. Dragon Blade on the way, looking for that kill. Gonna run into it. Deny. No, he gets the deflect. The double kill from Seagull. Trying to keep hope alive here for LG. It's 4 kills for LG right now. Seagull makes it a triple in the end. And that is exactly what they needed. Reaver shot a little bit too early, and he paid the price.
Where was Surefour? I don't know exactly what happened to him, but Genji did not care. He was just flying free, dashing through everything, getting the easy kills, and the speed with which he did that may have given LG a breath of a chance here.
Well, I mean, let's be realistic here. This is still very hard to beat, but like you said, it's a glimmer of hope. Plus, he got the side effect of embarrassing Reaver there. So for Seagull, it's sort of win-win. Surefour, though, moving in, he takes out Dummy immediately. Dummy first to fall. Grego moving in. Gods is down. It's a 64 for C9. They're bringing this right back. So any extra bit of hope here for LG, starting to get the door shut on it now. Seagull having the back out. And this is looking very good for C9. 2.5 minutes left. They're probably about 2 team wipes away from putting the final touches on this, if even that.
If you can imagine the automatic ticket to the playoffs as a door slowly closing every second. Look at this, Seagull going off again, actually getting a lot of value out of that, but does eventually fall to Surefour. But yeah, that image right now of the door just slowly closing on them. They're trying to shove their hand or foot in there to slow it down.
Speaking of foot, Dummy letting Surefour a taste of the feet right there. So
the talon. He has sharp talons, that Zenyatta.
So 2 minutes left. I'm not going to say LG is out of this just yet. They do have a chance. C9 basically has to lose everything horrifically. Milo with Earth Shatter, that's one of the ways that that can happen. So a lot riding here on Milo. If Milo can sneak around to the back and get this, there's a real opportunity. He's going to move back forward with the rest of his team. And this is sort of a low-risk play, but I wonder if it's worth it. But here comes the Earth Shatter, does knock down 3. Milo gets what he's looking for. Unfortunately, Reaver did take out Seagull early in this fight. Surefour comes in from the back line. 3 kills here from C9 despite that Earth Shatter. Coming out from Milo, LG is not getting the expected result. There just wasn't the follow-up there in position right after that. Ooh. C9 is going to clean this up. And now a minute 30 left. One more good team fight will seal this for C9 if it is not sealed already, which means that they will win the grand finals and they will be qualified.
That Deadeye was so unsatisfying. The fact that he had all those targets laid out in front of him and still could not get the value out of it has to hurt. Seagull now as the Genji, only 33% of his ult, trying to get the shots that he can. He's the only one really able to deal with the high ground at all, and the entire defense is sitting up there just waiting for this team to loop around at the payload. Debet's going to leap in immediately, drop that shield. Transcendence is triggered by Kai. He's going to...
Oh, no. The sleep dart.
The sleep dart, yeah.
taking a nap right now,
Strength
right
dart.
behind the cart. I mean, why not? He will live here. 2 kills for LG, but here's the problem from them right now, Josh. Even if they win this fight, you look at the time that's left. Milo, of course, on the nano boost, going absolutely crazy. Earthshare comes down again, knocks down 3. I don't think C9 cares right now because all they have to do is just get on the point a little bit, and they'll win. In fact, I think they've already won this, Josh, because think about the gates opening. The gates opening take like 10 seconds on its own.
Yeah.
It's over. So C9 will win the grand finals here in the Overwatch North American Open. Really good stuff coming up from C9, and they have secured their spot right alongside Envious.
Excellent work just throughout the weekend. Both teams, of course, admirable jobs getting here to the finals, but Cloud9 really putting their foot down. It actually seemed like they may have had a harder time in the semifinal, only wins by 2 or 3 minutes. This time, it's a bloodbath. Cloud9 is here to win, and they definitely want to get that free ticket to the playoffs.
I think that's a good point because it definitely makes a stronger case for Fnatic going forward into next week, where maybe you say Fnatic might have an edge against LG. We'll just have to see. Of course, transitive property isn't always how things work in sports in general, not just esports.
Definitely.
However, that is that. C9 dominant 3-0 victory, and they have succeeded here tonight.
Yeah, and joining us for the finals of the broadcaster desk is once again Alex Machine Richardson.
How you doing, gentlemen?
Did you love that series?
You know what? I was hoping for a little more. I feel like with a best of 5, you'd like to think you're not going to see another stomp. I mean, we got that 2-0. I mean, in grand finals, you would assume you're going to be seeing LG put up more of a fight. Like they've proven their worth. They get to the semis last week. They get to the grand finals this week, and there's no envy in their way, which previously did knock them on their arse. And now again they fall a little flat this time in the grand finals. They're good. Cloud9 made them look a little silly there. I don't know about you guys, but I mean, watching that from my perspective, we saw a couple of snazzy plays from Seagull, but Surefour just kind of laughed at them, as did the rest of Cloud9.
Yeah, they did that. And also, I just want to bring this point up as well. We brought up Midcast, but C9, their initiations and sort of their positioning throughout all of it really was top-notch. There was just points where they outmaneuvered and outthought Luminosity. Of course, you look at the beginning of Namani, where Surefour's May literally shut down the exact path of approach that LG was going for. That was really good scouting and just out-game planning what LG was going for, on top of all the mechanical issues going forward. So C9 definitely won that on multiple different levels.
Yeah, and I mean, we can harp on about underperformance from LG. I think it's better to take that positive path for C9 and just saying that, we outlined them as being, they for a long time held the top spot in North America, and it felt clear today, Josh, I don't know about you, it felt clear that they are going to be trying to reclaim that very shortly.
Yeah, I think they may have just cemented the number 2 spot in NA with such a brilliant performance, not only in the finals there, but in the semis against Fnatic, another team that's all constantly vying for those top 4 positions. And I think they have to feel good about their performance here. They actually held a candle to Envy's performances in the past there, so saw some glimmers of greatness for sure out of C9. Surefour really impressed me, just the fact that he made Tracer work on payload maps. Normally, most teams won't even risk that. They'll just only bring out Tracer in King of the Hill maps or maybe the very end of payload maps to try to contest, but Surefour, starting out strong, always had the ability to pull healers back. I wonder if we might see more teams adapt that strategy next week.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, C9 passed with flying colours. Last week, they fell to TSM in the best of 3. A full 2-1, we got to see all of the maps, and now they rise triumphant in the grand finals of our second week of the Overwatch Open. They have locked themselves in alongside Envy for the North American side of things, and this is how it looks. This is the leaderboard. You can see Cloud9 and Envy are going to be very, very happy there. The points yet to be updated. You'll be seeing that a little later on. But Envy and Cloud9 are the 2 teams that have secured that spot, that happy spot on the leaderboards. and you can see the next 2 weeks will transpire. We get those 2 TBD spots locked in. And that is just North America. Europe, we did see another team get locked on through. It was another spectacular grand final, but all round, a good second week, gents. We're done. Your first week here at the Overwatch Open. I hope I haven't been too horrible to you. I think okay. I mean, like Josh, I told you already, is like Winston. Very scary. See, like as soon as the camera goes on, he's like all lovely and smiley. As soon as the camera goes off, I mean, I've seen him hit you. I have seen it.
No.
You can't make the excuse about it being late. But basically, what I'm going to ask you is, have you had a good weekend of Overwatch?
It's been amazing. The studio here has been absolutely awesome. I can't even express that too much. I mean, I hope it looks impressive on TV, but in person, it's been great. The production staff has been awesome, very accommodating. They've put on a great show. And for me, I'm just happy to be here in London, both seeing the sights and getting here to cast Overwatch. What could be better?
Yeah, exactly. This is my first international casting gig at all, so definitely happy to make that big leap in my casting career. Just visiting London for the first time is a great city. Lots of new, interesting experiences. Everyone here, of course, is very friendly. Happy to be here with us, and the Overwatch games have been pretty incredible. We saw a couple of upsets throughout the weekend, saw a couple of stomps. Like this finals was pretty brutal, but basically a large variety of characters, strategies, new stuff. I learned about the Lucio switcheroony on King of the Hill today, so I'm learning every single time we cast here still.
And that is the beauty of what we have here with the Overwatch Open, is last week to this week, everything still looks different, and it probably will look different next week, because that's when you'll see us next. These boys and myself will be back on your screens the same time next week. Your Saturday and Sundays are going to be a absolute bonanza of Overwatch, and thank you so much for joining us. If you are interested in competing next week, or perhaps the week after if you're not free, if you're out doing like social things and being a productive member of society next weekend, do not fear, there's in the week after that, and you head to faceit.com and sign up. That's what you need to be doing right now as soon as we do say our goodbyes. And also, if you're watching and want the stats, the standings, the schedule, it's all available, all your information in one place at overwatchopen.com. So you go bookmark that, you go sign up, and we will disappear until next weekend. Thank you so much for joining us. This has been the Overwatch Open, and we'll see you next time.